Hey everybody, I'm Binkle Monkey, and due to time restraints, you're only getting half a video this week. Yup, I'm afraid there's just a whole lot of outside factors getting in the way of me giving you a whole game review today. My deepest apologies. But I am still gonna have to charge you full price for this video.
This is YouTube and your content has always been free!
Damn it, Peanut Gallery, you killed my metaphor! It was the perfect way to introduce Sonic 3!
Try harder next time!
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was made by the same folks that made Sonic 2, the Sega Technical Institute, or STI. But ever since making Sonic 2, there was a big, puffy irritation itching up a storm amongst the STI team. It seems the language barrier and some of the cultural differences created a rift between the American and Japanese developers. So it was decided that they would split the team in two. The Japanese developers would work on Sonic 3, while the American developers would work on the, highly influential Sonic Spinball. Now that's a consolation prize if I've ever seen one. So Yuji Naka and Hirokazu Yasuhara were back to work on a mainline Sonic game, and they were ready to go big. More zones in Sonic 2, three-dimensional isometric graphics, music by Michael Jackson! We got none of those things. And you're never gonna guess who's to blame for this. Was it Mark Cerny leaving STI after Sonic 2? No. Was it Cerny's replacement Roger Hector struggling to take the reins? Nope. Was it Yuji Naka being difficult to work with? Nah. It was this new mysterious figure pulling the strings from the shadows. McDonald's. You see, Sega had locked down that coveted Happy Meal toy deal with McDonald's, setting a hard deadline for the game to be shipped for February 1994. So, the more zones than Sonic 2 thing? Well, that was going to require a larger 34 megabit cartridge, which, at the time, would have been pricey and would take longer to make than the big cheese with the Big Macs was going to allow. So they decided to split the game in two. The 3D graphics? Pretty much the same situation. The Sega Virtua processor chip wasn't going to be ready in time, so they shifted back to 2D graphics. Music by Michael Jackson. Okay, this one's confusing. It has been said, but not truly confirmed, that Michael Jackson wrote music for Sonic 3. The list of composers on this game is like a mile long, but Jackson isn't credited on it. In the game's credits, at least. He is credited on the game's Wikipedia page, however. But many members of the senior Sega staff deny that he ever worked on it. Whether it's because this was around when the first child sexual abuse allegations against Michael Jackson came out and Sega just didn't want to be connected with that, or that Michael Jackson asked to not be credited because he was unhappy with how the Sega Genesis replicated his music, the world may never know. Personally, I think there's a lot of compelling evidence showing that there's at least a little MJ in this soundtrack. Just check out the end credits music of Sonic 3 and MJ's Stranger in Moscow song, for example. But we'll probably never know how many of the tracks originated from Jackson for sure. What we do know is Sonic 3 came out on February 2nd, 1994 in North America, and was a massive success, making it one of the best-selling games for the Genesis. So what sort of adventure is in store for Sonic this time? Well, this game actually has some lore. Sonic 3 picks up literally moments after the ending of Sonic 2. After having the bejesus kicked out of him, Dr. Robotnik and his space station, the Death Egg, crash land on Angel Island. Not to be confused with Angel Grove, which would make a pretty radical 90s crossover, actually. While assessing the damage, Robotnik runs into Knuckles the Echidna, the last member of the ancient Echidna civilization. Wait a second, are Echidnas actually endangered?
Oh no!
Anyway, Knuckles' sole purpose in life is to protect the Master Emerald, which allows Angel Island to float in the sky and connects ambiguously to the Chaos Emeralds held by our boy Sonic. Robotnik convinces Knuckles that Sonic's coming to take the Master Emerald, so Knuckles is like,
"Oh, hell no!"
and seeks to stop Sonic, giving Robotnik time to repair the Death Egg. So Sonic and Tails fly to Angel Island, and, not one to miss the chance for making a grand entrance, Sonic uses the Chaos Emeralds to turn into Super Sonic. But Knuckles ambushes them and steals the Chaos Emeralds. So Sonic and Tails have to travel across Angel Island to get the emeralds back and stop Robotnik from repairing the Death Egg. This is Knuckles' debut to the series, and it's pretty badass if you think about it. He just punched the Super out of Sonic.
You punched the highlights out of her hair.
He punched the highlights out of her hair!
He's clearly super strong if he can do that, right? But what does this new intimidating, powerful force do all game? Push buttons that cause mild inconveniences. Kinda like these jerks. They know how to push my buttons and be inconvenient.
Hey, rude.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
That was really hurtful. We're only sharing our opinion.
Hey, I'm sorry, Peanut Gallery. You are always entitled to your opinion here.
My opinion is, you suck! Ha 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 ha!
Anyway, fortunately, Sonic's got some new tricks up his non-existent sleeves this time around. By pushing the jump button while midair, Sonic creates the Insta-Shield, which can protect him from projectiles for a short amount of time. And with proper timing, you can even bop some spiky baddies without taking damage. That is, if Sonic isn't already using one of his new elemental shields. Now, instead of just protecting your rings for one hit, these shields have added power-ups. The Flame Shield lets Sonic shoot off in a fireball attack and nullifies any damage from fire in a level. The Lightning Shield attracts rings from a short distance and allows Sonic to do a double jump. And the Water Shield, which I've always called the Bubble Shield, lets you breathe underwater, as well as bounce, which is just the best. Tails even has his own moveset this time around. You can actually fly as the Foxacopter, which opens paths unavailable to Sonic. He also has this cute little doggy paddle underwater, which kinda gives off some Scrappy-Doo vibes. You can adventure with the duo together, and just like in Sonic 2, a second player can take control of Tails. But the camera still doesn't care what Tails is doing. But Tails can actually pick Sonic up and fly in this game, which gives player 2 some, purpose in life. But Sega didn't want you to be able to switch to Tails for easy mode whenever you wanted. You have to pick which character you want from the very beginning, from the first ever save system screen in the entire Sonic series, which feels a bit like overkill when the game only has 6 zones in it. But what are these 6 zones like? First up, we have Angel Island Zone, a lush jungle filled with waterfalls and beautiful plant life, until Robotnik burns it all to cinder. Next is Hydrocity Zone. And no, I'm not calling it Hydrocity. I refuse. This is what Labyrinth Zone and Title Tempest dream of being. I love how it's filled with weird gadgets like the Mickey Mouse glove hand machine that helps you pick up speed, and the propellers that push you in the air. Even the conveyor belt rope things stand out from other water levels. Marble Garden Zone, or Perpetually Falling Down Zone, is an above-water ruins area that Robotnik also destroys. Jesus Christ, Knuckles, are you really this dense? Robotnik burns down the entire forest, and Knuckles is like, yeah, that was my entire food supply, but if it'll stop Sonic from getting the Master Emerald, that's fine. And then he destroys the entirety of Marble Gardens, and Knuckles is like, yeah, that was an incredibly important location of cultural significance to the race of people I am the last of. But you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, man. And then out of nowhere comes Carnival Night Zone. Was this here before Robotnik showed up? Did Knuckles just have this entire amusement park place to himself? That's pretty cool, I guess. Just completely against the aesthetic of the rest of Angel Island, but that's cool. Ice Cap Zone is exactly what it sounds like. A mountain covered in snow and ice, complete with a snowboarding section. I'm kind of surprised that it took 4 games to get a snow level into the Sonic series, but this one's worth the wait. Act 2 in particular is a really fun time to blast through. And I gotta give the best level music this time around to Ice Cap Zone. I don't love the Sonic 3 soundtrack, I've never been sure why, but Ice Cap Zone definitely stands out as a track that gets you pumped, especially after suffering through the Circus March remix for 2 acts in Carnival Night Zone. This is the least Sega could do. On the overall list though, I feel like it goes below Chemical Plant Zone and above Spring Yard Zone. And then we make it to where Robotnik's been hiding out, Launch Base Zone. A level filled with flamethrowers, the teacup ride from Disney World, lasers, these sad ziplines that don't follow through with the rules of momentum, and the 5th level out of 6 that has water in it. I swear, Sonic 3 is the Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire of this series. So much friggin' water. And next is... Oh, right. That's it. It, just stops at Launch Base Zone. Like I mentioned earlier, to meet the Big Mac Daddy's deadline, the game had to be split in 2, leaving us with these 6 zones, and the rest got turned into the next game, Sonic and Knuckles. But to say that the final boss fight is the flat part of the ending is disingenuous, because almost all of the bosses are flat. Every act, not zone, ends with a boss battle this time around, and it feels like whoever was in charge of designing them was running low on ideas. The first one, the Flamecraft, for example, shoots fire at you. That's it, but if you have the fire shield, it basically can't touch you. Actually, the elemental shields make a lot of the boss fights trivial at best. A lot of these fights can be over before the machine or Robotnik even gets an attack off if you have the lightning shield or the water shield to double jump / bounce up and smack it around a bit. But then there's Carnival Knight's sub-boss that literally hits itself to death. What did Robotnik call that one again? Oh right! Self-destruct machine. It's literally in the name. You don't even fight Knuckles this whole game, and the game doesn't end his story in a fulfilling way at all. The last time you see Knuckles is after you beat the first of the 3 final bosses in Launch Base Zone. After defeating Robotnik the first time, you hop in his Eggmobile, which I absolutely love, but then you find Knuckles just hanging out. And then Robotnik starts to take off in the Death Egg and Knuckles falls to his death? Probably not. The next game is Sonic and Knuckles after all. Basically, he's just a nuisance the whole game. Speaking of nuisances, back to berate me some more?
No, we're here to apologize.
Yeah, that was uncalled for.
Yeah, we know you're trying your best.
Well, thank you for that. It's not always easy.
Too bad your best isn't good enough.
What has gotten into them lately? Anyway, you fight Robotnik 2 more times on the bottom of the Death Egg, and the last fight has a banger of a track under it. You defeat his big arms machine, which only ever wanted to be a big hugs machine. And that breaks the Death Egg for some reason, and it crashes back into Angel Island. The end. Congratulations! We're back where we started! We've gone full circle! Speaking of giant circles, hidden around Angel Island are giant golden rings that take you to this game's special stages. No half pipes this time, no UFOs or drug trips either, just a bunch of blue balls. Blue Sphere, that's what we call it. Right. Blue Sphere is a fan favorite special stage mode where you run through all the blue spheres while avoiding the red spheres. Get all the blue spheres and you get a Chaos Emerald. I remember being just awful at this as a kid, but in this playthrough, I found this to be a lot of fun. On top of anxiety-inducing when the level starts to speed up and you just can't find that last few spheres. And we're also back to having an actual incentive for collecting all the emeralds, because Super Sonic is back with a new repetitive song to run around to. You can even take Super Sonic into the final boss this time. If you're better at this game than me, that is. No Super Tails this time, though. Poor little fella. While on the topic of little fellas, what's with the tiny sprites for the 2-player competition mode this time? I think I somehow like this less than Sonic 2's weird multiplayer. It's a race around a very short track. First to complete 5 laps wins. But hey, you can actually play as Tiny Knuckles in this game mode. But I'd really prefer to do something more than run around Balloon Park Zone a bunch of times. The music's pretty good though. I have my fingers crossed that they'll remix or reuse Endless Mind Zone's theme someday. And that's Sonic 3. There's a lot of cool new things here. New power-ups, Tails has his own moveset, the zones are bigger and full of spectacle, secrets, and water. A lot of water. But it does feel like it's lacking. It's definitely a stronger game than Sonic 1 and Sonic CD. But I think Sonic 2 as a whole is a much more solid game than Sonic 3. So it's gonna get the number 2 spot. Next time, we'll have our sights locked on the second half of this adventure, Sonic and Knuckles. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed me rambling about Sonic 3, please be sure to give this a like, subscribe, or check out our Patreon page. If you didn't, please scream at me in the comments section. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can write comments if you liked it too, of course. Just say something. I get lonely. Thanks again. Have a good one. Well, have you broken him yet?
We're trying, but I don't like it.
This doesn't feel right.
It doesn't matter what you're feeling. You know what little secrets I'll tell the world if you don't do this for me.
We know.
Good. Now get back to work.
Yes, sir.
Break his spirit, you annoying little fanboys and fangirls. Then the real fun can begin.